Ah, jeez. Oh, we got No Name in the house. Matt Downer. Good to see you guys. Uh, yeah, it's a Friday at almost 5 o'clock Mountain Time. MGTOW Cowboy. Milwaukee Packers. Mysterio back from Canada in the house. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. We got a little bit of a topic today, a personal story of a good friend of mine. He is on his third marriage. He is in love. Good for him, I say. He has found his unicorn. Can you believe that? He has found his unicorn. And I congratulated him as a gentleman that I am. I do not tell him my opinions unless I am asked for it. But we know how this is going to end. Can anybody tell me how this is going to end? He is on his third marriage. He's still a believer in marriage, which, you know what? More power to him, right? Thanks, Mysterio. Good to have you. Blood boiling, unicorns can change. I think that right there should be the title. Unicorns, everyone finds a unicorn, right? Your girlfriend, your wife, they're all unicorns, and then they change. Very good, blood boiling. And tell me where you're from. I'd like to know where you're from. And we got the man with no name. I did the third marriage. I found oh my gosh, we have found two people that have found two unicorns. This is a huge thing. Kurt Shamrock in the house. Good to see you, Kurt. Third marriage, 70% divorce rate. I think it's higher than that. But I could be wrong. I heard it was like 93% divorce rate for third and consecutive. Every guy I know that's been married 3 times is either thinking about divorce or has been divorced. I remember hanging out with a guy in my hot tub when I lived at the apartments. He was on his 4th marriage, and he still believed in marriage. He said, I just couldn't find the right one. That's the thinking, right? So there you go. I saw Wyatt Earp did a response video on you and your mom. On me or on No Name? What do you guys think of these response videos? They're all over the net right now. I don't know. Batman Beyond is in the house from the East Coast. Salute, brother. Men are really persistent for these bipolar women. Can't save them all. So talking to my neighbor tonight. Been with the gal 7 years. They've broken up 3 or 4 times. She's 45 with a 7-year-old grandkid. Do the math. And I said, you know what? I asked him point blank. He's kind of suffering. He's dating some other gal. He's a 53-year-old pilot for a very well-known company or brand of airplane. And I said, Shane, what does she bring to the table? If she didn't have a beautiful face and genitals, what does she bring? And he sat there and he couldn't answer. Because you know what? I don't know. I go, then that's what you need to think about. Saifu Black Irish, Dead Truther Walking, great name. Good to see you. Kurt Shamrock, do you have friends who complain about their significant other? I do. All of them. In fact, one of my buddies today that got remarried, who's totally in love and she takes care of him, he called her to the ball and chain tonight. She's nagging at him after 2 years of marriage. Guys, you can't, there are, who just said it? Black Boylan? There are no unicorns. They change, right? I have those urges to marry and procreate, but I am into major risk avoidance. That is a smart way to think, Saifu. Homie Brandon is in the house. Good to see him. Always good to see you guys. Can you believe that? John Boston's got some friends in the house on his 3rd marriage. A friend of mine is on his 2nd, and he found a 300-pound unicorn, and she brought her cat. Oh, that's great. That makes me laugh. She brought her cats. She did bring her, she probably brought her dining room set and 3 different cat carriers. I love it. Good to see you, John. She is the table, apparently. Oh my gosh. All right. We got no name in the house. There's some thirsty people out there, bros. All women nag, no argument here. Yes, they do. That's their nature. We don't hate women. We understand them. That's it. Stay strong is in the house. Greetings to you, my brother. Just a few weeks and my waifu will be here. Whatever brings you peace, my brother. Unicorns are still dangerous animals. They can also switch up on you at a moment's notice, and there'll be nothing you can do about it. I agree. They got that friggin' deal right in the middle of the head, right? That little spike. And that's the deal. MGTOW Cowboy, 52% within 4 years, 70% divorce rate within 7 years, 80. Yeah, I think those are solid statistics right there. Solid statistic. Now, remember, the fake news is covering in the United States and elsewhere that divorce rates are down. Any coincidence? Cat ladies are also home wreckers. I know because I had one across the street one time. 100%. There is unicorn behavior and rat behavior, and both exist in women. I would agree. They're like multiple different animals, right? That's just their nature. They can be a teddy bear, they can be a rat, they can be a unicorn, and they all have different phases of life, right? We all met the unicorn. The day we kissed that unicorn, she was a unicorn. And then that unicorn wore off, and we saw with crystal clear eyes. But a lot of us didn't want to believe that unicorn could change. And that's where the blue-pilled, simping, she can do no wrong comes into perspective. We keep those unicorn goggles on our eyes, and that is where suffering begins. We're unwilling to see the reality. I was the same way. John Boston's friend, she's 300 pounds with a pocket full of Twizzlers, a bus pass, and Captain Crunch on her carpet. And I hope they don't try doing it on the kitchen table, since she's the cable and she's the supermarket shopping cart. And that table will break. Dang, that was one chubby chaser, my friend. My personal sanity is more valuable than trying to fix a woman's past. You can never fix a woman. And my buddy that's getting married for the third time that found a unicorn, he's in love. He's got 3 kids from the first, no kids from the second. Now he's on a third. And he found his unicorn. We need to study her. And I said, in 10 years, I want to know all of her qualities and how we can find more women like her. And he was giddier than a pet raccoon in a garbage can. By 30, women lost 90% of their eggs. By 40, they have 3 divorces. By 50, they have 8 cats and 3 boxes of wine on the weekend. Remember, a box of wine is 34 glasses of wine. Crazy, huh? Garrett is in the house, got rejected again today. Why do I do this to myself? Well, you got to quit seeking female behavior, female attention. And, a lot of guys are like that. Just let them come to you. That's all I can say. And it might take a long time, but let them come to you. But again, Garrett, this is female nature. Female nature loves to reject men. I think I saw a video that said females are black-pilled. Until they're not. It's not you. It's just you're dealing with female nature. Divorce rates are down because marriage rates are down. If fewer people get married, fewer get divorced. Media is deceptive, 100%. Don't ever get married. Just find a woman you hate and buy her a house. It's less painful. Words of wisdom, Mysterio from Canada. Just did my weight workout today, and it was great. Thinking about you when I was doing it. Okay, Matt Downer, there's going to be a quiz on this. Now, hey, what does she bring to the table? Oh, wait, she is the table. If a woman said that to me, I said, what do you bring to the table? And if she said she is the table, I'd probably laugh. I'd be, oh my gosh, this chick's witty. She actually used her head. But then I'm like, no, let's remove the physical. And what do you bring to the table? You pay my bills? Nope. Are you going to be loyal for the long term? Most likely not. Are you going to be the co-pilot? No. Are you going to stand beside me and not mad? No. What are you going to do? Again, these are the questions you have to ask yourself. What do they bring to the table? What can they offer you outside of physical? John Boston, he just bought a barbecue to cook a whole pig. I was thinking, damn, a 300-pound woman must need a full pig to feel satiated after. Oh my gosh, that just thinking about that guy with that gal makes me disgusted. Gross. Victor Cervantes in the house. One of my ex thought that I was the unicorn, and she asked to marry her if I was gone, be the fourth married man, so I ran away. Good for you. You run away from that crap. Get away. You say to that woman, fuera de aquí. Matt Downer, more bridal shops are closing and marriage has become a fading trend. I would agree. But the fake news is saying marriage is coming back because of COVID and all this crap. Really? L. Zanderman in the house. This is what I have found after 59 years on this planet. If you are one of those guys that women just DPM. Tell us where you're from. Good to see you. John Boston, sorry to rag on a buddy of mine's woman, but damn, she's the poster child of a 300. No, I think you bring up a very good point. These 300-pound women are what? Princesses. They're entitled. They have their leader, Lizzo, that woman that's heavier than a pet raccoon behind the Tasty Freeze in a garbage can. She is heavy. And she thinks she's a 9. This is the delusion. So I love it when you bring it up. Same thing has been happening to jewelry stores. Who's going to buy it? They're all buying those like silicone rings made out of rubber. I mean, if I was a dipshit and got married and I had a little bit of a brain, I'd go buy a cubic zirconium for $50-$100 and tell her it's a 3-carat diamond. She'd probably believe me. Or she'd be one of those crazy gals and go have it tested behind my back because she doesn't believe me. And that would tell me not to be with her. 11 Zanderman, don't notice you are the lucky one. Yes. Mysterio, can you break down your high percentage when it comes to relationships breaking down? I still feel it's too high. Can you break down your high percentage? All relationship in my book break down. It's physically, mentally, or emotionally. 90% of women are after the 1% of men and anyone else is rejected. Yeah. 90% are after the one. Yeah. Even the fat ones. Remember, they're all unicorns. We're having an impact. The media refuses to say that truth. Yes, they do. Rebel against defeat. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrencies? Good investment. You need to be they're very speculative. There's a lot of hype around them. I think they're going to be around for a while. You might be able to make a little bit of money, but I don't know. We don't have a lot of history on them. I mean, look at Bitcoin. It was, when I bought Bitcoin, it was very cheap. It was in the hundreds of dollars. And then it went up to 20 grand, dropped to 3. It went up to 65. It's down to 54 today. It's all just a bunch of hype. So just, if you're going to invest, I wouldn't invest a ton of it, but, gamble. Take 5 grand. Go buy Ravencoin or Dogecoin for 30 cents. I bet Dogecoin gets to $1. Paul Proteus made a good video about the economic impact that even a few thousand men can have on the economy. I would agree. You know what's funny? The fact that No Name, if you want to develop a product, don't sell to your fellow men. Sell to women, because 90% the consumers in this world, 90% of the consumers are women. What have you guys bought from a department store in the last month? What have you bought at a trinket store in the last month? I guarantee you're buying supplies. You're buying some clothes, maybe a couple sneakers, maybe some sporting equipment. What are you buying from department store? Are you buying blankets and sheets and pillow sets and picnic sets? No. So if you get a business, sell to women. Anti-aging, makeup, pills to make their hair grow longer, whatever it is. Female nature is not hard. Marcus Frazier, my condolences to your friend. That's a very good comment, my friend. I would agree. Lobo Redpiador, buenas noches a todos. Good to see you here. Obrigado for being here. Ubermensch is in the house. Good to see you again. Diamonds are effing worthless. The diamond jewelers incorporated into the fiction of romance. I would agree. Were they giving diamonds away in the 1800s? Nope. Man took a woman to have multiple kids so they could run the farm, raise cattle, and survive. They didn't give a shit about diamonds. That was developed by the De Beers, probably the best marketing campaign ever, that you needed to get a diamond to be married. I think the De Beers are the 5th largest, or they're in the top 5 families in the world that run this place. That's my conspiracy mind talking. My ex-sister-in-law never had a man until she went and did online dating. She found some skinny guy with a fat girl fetish who looks like the old bald guy. I remember Benny Hill. That's funny. I remember that guy too. Remember, she's a 49er, John, right? You know what? Next time you see her, or if your ex-sister-in-law, and someone sees her, get a pack of Twizzlers, chocolate ones, not the red strawberry ones, chocolate ones. Invest in silver. Silver is what, 26 right now? I bought silver at $9 a couple years, 10 years ago. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be able to use silver if, we have an EMP or this place comes to be a total shit show. But yeah, I mean, gold's good, but gold, can you really, what if you need a loaf of bread and some, supply, what are you going to do? Shave off the gold bar? No, you're going to give a couple silver coins that have, value. Smart, Ubermensch. Saw my ex yesterday, Rad. She has ballooned in size, but so has my bank accounts. There you go. And your bank accounts is going to be loyal to you. That's your co-pilot right there. That woman would never be loyal to you, Garrett. Always good to see you, Ubermensch. Nicolas Cage is on his 5th marriage. Another believer in society's thinking. Mr. K is in the house. I like that. Hank Hill, little avatar. There was a story of a guy who said he wanted to upgrade his wife's diamond, but was secretly going to divorce her. He put Ace Cubics there going, oh, I love it. Oh, good. He probably sold it. Oh, good for him. Smart guy. My female friend thinks that I should be open to being with a woman that is separated with kids at my age. Nope. I will stay single if that's my choice. I just talked to my neighbor, Mysterio, that's like his girlfriend that lived with him, and he's a pilot for a very well-known airline, puts all of her kids and the grandkids ahead of him. I said, are you going to be last? You were last in your marriage. Why would you do it again? I mean, that's what you got to ask yourself. If a woman has kids and grandkids, you're not first. There's no reason to get in that relationship. Oh, we can't hang out tonight. Little Johnny's got a nose ache. Can't hang out tonight because my son Brian's having a hard time with his ex. Fuck that. Right? Yep. Those diamond marketing companies were smart as fuck. Yes, they were. Lone Wolf is in the house. Good to see you. Mr. Drummer Live is in the house. A unicorn is any woman who will cause the dopamine to begin to react. And when it's over, the depression and frustration sets in of another failure due to having the she's the one mentality. I would agree 100%. I would believe, 100%. Well-known fact, 80% of all disposable income is spent on women by men and women on themselves. Guys, go to a department store. How much is dedicated to a female's buying characteristics or patterns? 85% of that store is. The man's got 15% of the store. He's got cologne, shoes, slacks, suits, t-shirts, and jeans. My ex-sister-in-law was wearing shorts, and she looks like she has cottage cheese on the back of her leg. A lot of gals do. A lot of gals, John. Cottage cheese. Nicolas Cage is one crazy mofo. I would agree 100%. Nice live stream title. Just remember she's a unicorn today, but only a few cheeseburgers away from becoming a feminine rhino. 100%. Who said it first? The blood boiling. She's a unicorn until she's not. I love it. They're all unicorns in the beginning. They can do no wrong. Remember the last time you had feelings for a woman? That first time you met her, she could do no wrong. Ubermensch, given some solid advice. No female friend. Good for you. Robert De Niro is low on cash after his numerous divorces and the court-ordered alimony. Supposedly, he was paying $375,000 a month on a credit card. What the fuck are you going to buy for $300, almost $400 grand a month for $5 million? What are you buying? Like, seriously. You're buying like stupid shit. Louis Vuitton. I mean, Louis Vuitton, you can't even spend that much. I mean, what a dipshit. Robert De Niro is an idiot. I love his acting, but him as a person, he's a total dipshit. I hope he's watching. What is your opinion on taking trade school, blue-collar jobs over college white? I think that's great. The future millionaires, blood boiling, are the HVAC people, electricians, plumbers, those that don't want to get their hands dirty. Because we're living in a millennial, they're all software programmers. No, this is what I would do. If I was 18 again, I'd either become an electrician, plumber, HVAC, something along those lines, put in like 5 to 10 years, then start my own company. I know plumbers that are 40 years old that are multimillionaires because they run a company. Nobody's willing to do that. Go that route. What's your take on this saying, beggars can't be choosers? I hate when women say this. I don't ever want to get with a whale because we'd be both being with them. Beggars are choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. I agree with that. It's like saying, why would a hot woman want to be with a simp, right? A blue-pilled guy. No, they want alphas because they're not beggars. We don't need much, to be honest. We don't. Have you ever listened to Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown? What new acts have you listened to lately? I like a band called Slaves. Slaves. I've been into them for the last year and a half. They're great. Check them out. Slaves. It's called post-punk, but I like them. And I like, who's the other band? I'll figure it out. Batman. Men have power, but we have been taught to relinquish it not only to the woman, but to the state and government as well. 100%. 100% Batman. Good to see you. We don't need much, to be honest. We don't. Dude, we're simple people. Put some quotes in. We are simple. Men are simple. Did Nicolas Cage cheat on everyone, or I'm just paranoid? I think they cheat on him. I don't know what his deal is. He's just a weird dude. He's just a weird dude. Swift Trainer, do you remember the ladies' night lawsuit? Yes, I do. Good to see you. Retro Gamer is in the house. TGIF Friday. Good to see you, brother. LEOB, hi, Rad. Have you noticed that females always have male skilled friends? Yes. Of course. Guys, you're dealing in life with 95% of all men are blue-pilled simps, thirsty as fuck. This is a superpower we have. We're able to navigate life and have a great life understanding female nature. I'm getting a CDL app. Good for you, man. I know Walmart, guys that drive for Walmart and FedEx, they make $150,000 a year driving a semi. After like 3 years, they start at like $90,000. So get your CDL. The internet, once you get past all the porn and memes, you realize you can educate yourself to a high level and pay nothing. The life, I like that. Plumbers make like $50 an hour, and if they own their company, they kill it. $50 an hour times 40 hours, that's $100,000 a year. Not even software programmers make that crap. Any trade that gives you a journeyman license is almost a guarantee of a job. 100% Saifu. Keeping their options open, yes, they are. Lord Spawn, it's the truth. A buddy of mine's on his third marriage, and she found a unicorn. Now, the reason I put that title in there is because that's the thinking of most men. They get divorced, they get destroyed in divorce, and then they're off to the next woman that's 5 years younger with a different haircut and a different name. That's the same person under the covers. Think about that. Good to see you, Lord Swan. Bada being in the house. My day is complete. You're commenting on relationships. Great insight, Rad. You're my reality check. Well, I think we check everyone's reality here. And you have to ask yourself, when you see someone or some woman gives you attention, you've got to take yourself from that dopamine butterfly stage and say, what does she bring to the table? Every one of you, if a woman likes you, if a woman is reaching out to you, ask yourself, what does she bring to the table outside of the physical? Now, my buddy that's getting married the third time, he's bamboozled by the physical, the charm. But does she pay his bills? Guarantee not. Is she going to stand by him? Nope. Just a matter of time. The clock is ticking. Right? What a terrible era we live in where the idiots govern the blind. Very well said, Mr. Shakespeare. It is well enough that people of the nation do not understand our banking and money system. If they did, there would be a revolution before tomorrow morning. I remember reading that about 20 years ago. Great quote. Saifu, I was an electrician in 4 state. Companies are looking for journeyman trades. Even welders. There's guys that are over here on the Utah petroleum pipeline. They're making $250,000 a year welding. Now, welding is a very blue collar. It's a physical job. They're in all sorts of elements of what he's making $250,000 a year, and he gets like 3 months off. But it's hard work. That's what you can do. Paintless dent repair, Heltech, $200,000 to $1 million a year. Ask me how I know. Dang, Mr. K, good for you. Dentless. I looked at a company about 25 years ago in the dentless paint repair or something like that. Guys are making a shit ton. Tell me more about that. Bada being in the twilight zone. I live as a minimalist, smart man. You don't need much. Men do not need much. You know what we need? A nice sandwich, maybe a beer, maybe a soda pop, maybe a sports game. We don't need a lot. We really don't. Lord Spawn, my province just went full COVID Nazi. Oh, geez. It's coming back again. It's coming back again. Ridiculous. Idiots. God, they're out in their asses. Good. Matt, good to see you. Have fun. The seeds of gnosis. What would you tell guys who want a girl who likes me for me? I would say, it is only a smokescreen, my friend. Remember, you have the superpower. So put yourself first. Make her be a compliment. That's it. Let's see. I have a A-class CDL smart move. Yep, I would agree. Raquel singing in the house, busted out laughing from the title. I'm getting a lot of positive comment, but it's the truth. He's getting married. He found a unicorn at last. When a government is dependent upon bankers for money, they and not the leaders of the government control the situation, since the hand that gives above is the hand that takes. Very well said. All right, I got to get down here. No name. I'll read them later. Not sure if everyone here is a gamer, but the simping for the new Resident Evil games, Lady Villain, is beyond pathetic. Yeah. Simps everywhere. Simping ain't easy. Thomas Jefferson said a lot. Oh, come on, that girl is nice. How are you going to hate on the Resident Evil girl? They can do no wrong. FJT is in the house. FJT, how are you? FJT follows the wisdom of the red pill. Hit and quit, in and out, no cohab, no marriage, works on himself, learns a language. That's what all you guys, hobbies, that's what we're all doing. Good to see you, FJT. Third marriage, Swift trainer. Yep. Some people, you can't fix stupid. If love relationship can't be even, can friendships be even, or does there have to be a pilot co? That's a very good question. No, I think friendships are fine. I think both people are pilots in it. I don't know if you're asking, Mysterio, if that's a man and a woman relationship or a man-to-man friendship. Why the fuck do so many men and women, for that matter, for fucking because that happens to them? Well, because men, there's a fantasy, Lord Spawn, versus reality. And a lot of men don't want to give up the fantasy. That's it. If you're heartbroken over a woman, you're living the fantasy, not the reality. Right? Fernando's in the house. Hola, colegas. Good to see you. I'm hating on the simping of her. It's everything that's pathetic about these blue pill men. Guys, that woman that sold her bathwater sold out in like 10 minutes. That is the reality of the men in today's world. The men that still haven't received the memo. With bad laws and good civil servant, it's still possible to govern, but with bad civil servants, even the best laws can't help. I would agree. In Brazil, we have a friend from the MGTOW community. He is called Nabson. He is living on the streets. Do you have any advice or message for him to overcome the situation? He has to decide and accept his life, and he has to decide if he wants to leave the streets. Because once he makes the decision, his life will be much better. You have to decide. He hasn't decided. So when you don't decide on something you want or accept something, you're going to be in that same cycle. So ask him if he's ready, and he might not be ready to leave the streets. But if he is, he's going to have more opportunities open to him just by deciding. It's just how psychology and, vibrations work. Good question. Blood is the grease that turns the wheels of history. Benito Mussolini. Wow, you got some quotes tonight, No Name. Don't have any female friends. They are just using you. They will only contact you if you need something. Well, very well said. McPherson G. What kind of dumbass would buy bath water? Well said. 95% of men would. She can keep her nasty bath water. Swift Trainer. AR, your friend married 3 times. And I guarantee if he gets divorced, he'll go for a 4th. Delusion. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. I would agree. Nabson is living on the streets, really. He has to decide that he doesn't want to live there. Once he decides, opportunities will open up. People will appear in his world where he can have a great life, but he has to decide and accept. Carl is in the house. Here's a simple test the next time you meet a woman. What's more important to you, freedom or equality? She says equality, run. Words of wisdom from Carl. If she says equality, she doesn't understand equality. We're not equal. Never have been, never will. We're equal in the fact that we're the essence of God's spirit, if you believe in a God or a universal intelligence. But we're not equal in terms of our physical. Never will be. Our brains are different. We're not even close. Very well said, Carl. Appeasing women's relentless demands is like feeding fish to a cat and expecting it to become vegetarian. Very well said. Mysterio, gosh damn it. Van Halen. Van Halen I got into before Hendrix, so I'm biased. But I love Hendrix. Your friend trying to find his princess, but they're all witches. Very well said, AR. I would never buy her nasty booty bathwater. Who would? I mean, what kind of simp? That is the ultimate symptom of simping. Ling Bentley, can't the government tax prostitution? They probably could. I wonder if Mustang Ranch has to pay taxes. I bet they do. The government is going to get in it somehow. I mean, if the tax was $10 to throw down with a prostitute in every state, every man would do it. Who wouldn't pay $10? Carl, I prefer not to speak to women outside of work, although I'll keep one in mind. Pretty sure I know most of them will answer, though. Yep, just do not dip the pen in the company ink. The feds finally got that Josh Duggar. Yep. Lux Boss is in the house. I'm late, but I'm here moving into my new condo out here in Panama City Beach. Alpha's up, beta's down. Good for you. Congrats. The coolest part of MGTOW, says Bada Bing, is that you realize for the first time after the divorce it wasn't your fault. Hypergamy rule. It's never, you know what? We do have accountability, but most likely that divorce happened for some sort of hypergamist or female nature characteristic. Right? We're a generation of men raised by women. I'm wondering if another woman is really the answer we need. Very well said from Fight Club. Jamais Toussaint. Good to see you. Blueface the rapper is housing females, making them get tattoos. Also, he has them sleeping on bunk beds just to show you that women will too. Yeah, interesting. If a couple goes to counseling, should they both have a female-male counselor at the same time advising them? No counseling. Counseling doesn't work out. Never will. Never has. If anything, it's counseling light. How can I talk to her when she's upset? But then again, you're dealing with female nature, and she's dealing with male nature. It doesn't work. It's a both. You guys, if you want to make a ton of money, write a book on how women can communicate with men. Just make something up. I guarantee you'll be on Oprah and you'll make millions of dollars. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Are you kidding me? No, women are emotional, men are logical. That's it. I just wrote a book. Men are logical, women are emotional. 6 words. And just expound on that every chapter. Stupidity. Now, I guarantee it'll be a bestseller. What happens if you dip the pen in the company ink? It never ends well. Raymond, good to see you. Don't make the mistake I did thinking a female colleague was a friend after 5 years working together, stabbed me in the back to further herself. There you go, guys. Don't dip the pen or the emotional pen in the company ink. Red oak in the house. Masculinity has been surprised damn near all my life. I'm 24. Good for you. Take this knowledge and run with it and learn from guys like myself and John Boston and Carl and guys that have been married, FJT, and everybody else in the house. You have to understand female nature to have a great life. We don't hate female nature. There's nothing you can do about it. Just move forward and put yourself first. And if a woman pops in your world, make sure that she is not the center of your life. Don't live with them. Don't marry them. Retro Gamer. The FDA said publicly they will not approve any vaccines. Think about that for a sec. Oh, wow. I'm not taking a vaccine. Are you kidding me? You don't know what's in that. Again, that's just me. Harold Giras in the house. I'm not happy. You know what will happen next after his 3rd marriage. Yep. It's only a matter of time. It's a ticking time clock. That's it. It's a matter of time until female nature rears more of its head. The head of the camel is in the tent. When the back hind legs are in the tent, it's over. Well said. Counselors are generally misogynist. Yes, they are. Counselors just allow her to sell. Well, I tried. Yes, I remember going at the very end of my marriage, and she just did it for 3 times to say, see, I tried everything, but she was already checked out years before. Absolutely right, Carl. McPherson G in the house. The best thing I ever did was not get married to my ex. That's probably the fucking most smartest thing you ever did. Never take an ex back. I am in the control group of this vax experiment. What do you think? What do you think, Saifu? So anyhow, my buddy, 3rd marriage, found a unicorn, happy as a clam, put a $20,000 ring on her finger. I asked him, I said, 20,000, that's how much they cost you? No, I wanted to make sure that she was happy. All right, now she's on the, remember, if a guy asks a woman to marry her, she's on the pedestal. The guy's never even getting close to that, and she knows it. He'll never be on the pedestal. It's game over. My ex-girlfriend cheated on me when I was in the hospital while having breathing issues. Then she was stalking me at the gym, tried reaching out. Well, that's what they all do. Women leave men that get hurt or in the hospital or have, medical issues. Female nature. Nothing you could do, Jamaz Toussaint. And you kick her to the curb now. Mysterio, the world tries hard to appease women. Why? Other than pay, when it comes to income, women and men will be different. There's a lot of theories about that, Mysterio. Feminism, communism, the Duluth model, men, just it's the narrative. I don't have a good answer. My answer is kind of all over the place. But it's basically how society has turned out. Then there's no going back. People say, if there's a big war, the women are going to, stand behind their man. Really? Okay, let's say they stand behind their man if China invades. Let's say we're decimated, we're taken over by Chinese. She stands behind her man, everything gets back to normal. And then she monkey branches again. I mean, what are you going to do, right? You have to know this before, during, and after any specific calamity or any change within our society system. Good question. Jay Lee in the house. Hey, Rad, still relationship free. Good for you. This content has been a life changer. Good for you. I wish, I'm not going to regret. I'm glad that I went through what I went through because it made me strong, and I'm here because of that. But to let other men know and youngsters know that if they seek the attention of a woman, they're suffer. If they get in long-term relationships, have kids, or are married, the outlook is extremely grim. I'm trying to keep men and boys safe from the potential calamities a woman can bring to their life. Now, have a woman in your life, but don't put her central. Have a relationship outside of any sort of societal norm. But good for you, Jay Lee. Keep going. Part of female fate nature is to throw anyone under the bus at the first beneficial opportunity. Remember when that female MRI tossed an ear for men under the bus, none of them are trustworthy? I would agree. You have to be, women are very smart. They know exactly what they're doing. What do you think of Dr. Phil? I think he's a big Chad. Let's talk about where the rubber meets the road. He loves saying that. I don't know. He's probably got some nuggets of wisdom, but he obviously worked for Oprah, who Oprah supposedly gave marriage advice to women and she was never married or had kids herself. Who's going to listen to that crap? Casademic exploits female anxiety to enslave us all. Casademic, gotcha. R. Andrew K. Reed in the house. Good to see you. I would agree 100%, man. The pandemic exploits female anxiety to enslave us all. Very well said. Chris, 1011, every man's wife was once a better girlfriend. Dr. Laura said to women, I remember listening to this like 15 years ago. She told these women that would call in bitching about their husbands, girl, you need to quit bitching about your husbands, get behind your man and be his girlfriend. That was coming from a woman. Go figure. I met an astronaut once. He was cool, but developed a mental disorder. So NASA sent him to a psychiatrist. He had claustrophobia. So the doctor told him, you need some space. That's funny. I got to use that one. FJT, my coworker that shamed me for not getting married is now getting divorced. Interesting. He caught his wife of 2 kids sleeping with his best friend. Jeez, par for the course. Let him shame you. You always have the last laugh, FJT. What a great advantage a man can have over a woman if he only knew what cold and calculating thoughts are going through her mind while her eyes are brimming with tears. Esther Villar making an appearance. Thank you, Raymond Carr. We're going to keep it up. And all these comments we're all part of the same soup. We all learn from each other. We all spread this knowledge. We all help each other, support each other to have a better life by understanding the role that we play in life, not the role a woman plays in our life. We are the prize. Men first. Thank you for the comment. That's usually how it goes for most. You can't help those. And I guarantee he's going to get married again, FJT. Right? No surprise. I'll tell you what's in the vaccine: aborted fetal tissue from Planned Parenthood, mercury, aluminum, squalene, animal DNA. Yeah, now I want nothing to do with that crap, Raquel. Lang Bentley, stand behind what man? Most men are single. Stats, 53% of black men in USA are single without children. Well, the reality is we all in our mind, in our fantasy, want a woman to stick with us, but what's the reality? Can they be a co-pilot? No. Simple as that. Aluminum. Ugh. You do not want aluminum in your blood. If everything was great with women, a lot of men would be dating and everything would be chill. I find a lot of women very difficult. I don't see a lot of easygoing women. No, and Mysterio, go on a dating app. You'll see the same people last year, today, and 10 years from now. You don't even have to listen to this crap. Just go on a dating app and look at the cycle. It's the same people. No surprise, Esther Villar received death threats from women as well as Aaron Peasy. Yeah, because she's speaking. She's like the Kanye West from The Plantation. He's speaking against the narrative, as she was. Dr. Phil equals Dr. Blue Pill. Yeah. Yep. Doctor is POS that is part of human global track. Could be. And letting him do all the work. Milwaukee Packard, I hope all baby mothers die a horrible death. There are a lot of feminists out there. Be careful talking about the vax on here. This platform takes down, but yes, be careful. Good call, FJT. Your third time's a charm, buddy. What is his soon-to-be wife's age range, and does she have kids? She's got 2 kids, 10 years younger. Remember, he married a unicorn. Good for him for marrying a woman 10 years younger, but same brain. It's like buying an Xbox. I don't play Xbox, but if you bought an Xbox, let's say the Xbox is in silver color with really cool rhinestones on it. But when you take that cover and case off, it's the same damn Xbox that your buddy has. No difference. But we get bamboozled because, oh my gosh, it's now shiny, it's new, it's cool, it's different. End of the day, it's the same game. One doctor said the VAX has cancer cells in it and it will there's something weird about it, man. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. By the age of 12, at latest, most women have decided to become 304s. Put another way, they have planned a future for themselves, which consists of choosing men. Not choosing a man, choosing men. When that man expires, she's off to the next, then the next, then the next. And guess what? Blue-pilled simps, no name, will be in line. She's got orbiters lined up. Crazy. Do you ever talk to your ex-wife or you two? We do talk about our son. That's it. Nothing else. And I don't ever engage. Just education, insurance, medical stuff. If he's going to play basketball or what. Nothing. I want nothing. She's not part of my life. She's the mother of my kid, and that's it. And letting him do all the work. Esther Villar. I can't go back on the dating app, Brad. You got me off it since October 20. Good for you. It's a shit show. You do not want to be on it. There's no value in it. Xbox not that bad. I don't play it. My boys do. What has been will be again. What has been done will be done again. There is nothing new under the sun. Very well said, Ecclesiastes. Great biblical verse. So that is why when somebody is thinking about getting married again, what has been done will be done again. He'll be divorced again. If you go back to an ex, you'll be exed again. My neighbor took his ex back 3 times. Now they're broken up for the 3rd time. It's even worse. Never go back to an ex. Are you related to Corey Wayne? Be honest, you both very similar. No. He sits in a funky chair too. When I first was going through my divorce, I listened to him. He's got some good things, but I think he's more geared for men dating women. But hey, man, I'm not opposed to him. I know he was on 21 Studios. Him and Anthony Dream Johnson. By the way, Anthony Dream Johnson did respond to me. I think we're going to do a collaboration with 21 Studios. What do you guys think? What's your simple definition between red pill and blue pill guys? Red pill guys have seen the light. They have seen the superpower that red pill can bring. Blue pill do not. Here's the deal. Red pill believes in the reality of men and women dynamics. Blue pill believes in the fantasy. There you go. That's my definition. Blue pill fantasy, red pill reality. The great question has never been answered, in which I have not yet been able to answer despite my 30 years of research into the feminine soul. What does a woman want? There you go. Sigmund Freud, one of the great philosophers of the 19th century or 20th century. What kind of games do you like, Rad? Do you think will be a good game? I don't play. I don't play those games. My son plays Call of Duty, some other car game. I don't know. I'm out playing real games where I have to get sweaty on my bike or hiking or something, or weightlifting. Good question, though. I'll figure it out. Let me see what he likes. I'm 99% sure he's getting married again. He's too far gone. And whenever I bring up his wife's bad behavior, he says, oh, well, not all women are like that. You got to find the one. FJT, you just can't fix stupid. Some of these guys will never get it. They might go 60 years still not getting it. They believe in the fantasy, not the reality. See, everyone in this chat, everyone that's watching or has watched, believes in the reality. So we need to pat ourselves on the back. We found the reality. We're not believing the fantasy that we were sold, right? He's an idiot, FJT. They need to have a how to avoid the pitfalls of marriage class in every school. Mr. MVP? Yeah, it would never happen because the government pushes the esclavitud, that's the word in Spanish, slavery of men, and they'll get it somehow, and it's typically done through court, family court, false allegations or something like that. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. That's blue pill right there, man. No name. Only social media I use is YouTube and Whisper. Yeah, I do YouTube and I do LinkedIn. They're an X for a reason. They would never do that. Schools are intentionally pushing Marxist propaganda. They also dumb down students and are the beginning of where women get their entitlement from. Yes, true. Rad, how many more years of child support? 2 years. Are your kids old enough to decide? In the state of Utah, my son wants to live with me most of the time, but he goes back half the time. But in the state of Utah, they can't pick, but they don't. But a 16-year-old kid that's got a car, he can go wherever the hell he wants. They don't really enforce it, but I think in Oregon, if you're 14, you can decide where to live. It doesn't happen in Utah. More liberal states it happens, but they can't really enforce where the teenager that's in high school goes. And what are they going to do? I mean, number one, if you enforce it, you're going to screw your relationship up. But yeah, 2 more years left, Carl. And I pay very little. The floods which devastate regions, the fire of the lightning which reduces cities to ashes, the poison of the plague which afflicts provinces. Like it. Are not as disastrous in the world as the dangerous morals and unrestrained passions of its kings. Busting out, no name. Lots of quotes. Yes, Rad and 21 Studios, cheaper groceries. I'd like to do it. I think Anthony Dream Johnson. I think he's got some good stuff. I like a lot of people have left him, and I think he's still true to his word and his vision. When men go Killdozer 2.0, child support ends. My child support is under 3 figures or 3 digits. Go figure. You need a really good lawyer. Thanks to all you and the rest of the alphas, males. We appreciate you all. Hey, we're all here to learn from each other. Jamais Toussaint. Scarecrow Trip. Do you like Kevin Samuel? I've seen a couple of his videos. I like it when he calls women out, but I don't know what is he. I don't know. I don't watch him enough to know if he's a dater. He just seems to call women out so that women correct themselves so that men want to date them again. Would that be well said? I don't know. I do like it when he calls women on the carpet when he thinks these 39ers are like princesses and he calls them out. But is he calling them out to reboot their thinking that if they change, they can settle down? I mean, I don't think what he's doing is wrong, changing the narrative of what women, the delusion of women. I think he's a delusion buster. So I think there's value in it. He has, a very different, he has a huge audience. But if he can switch women's thinking to be co-pilots, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not interested. Corey Wayne has a lot of money. Yeah, I read his book, 3% Male, about 5 years ago. What is the difference between blue pill and purple pill? Blue pill is the belief in fantasy. Purple pill believes in reality but doesn't want to let go of fantasy. That's it. Purple pill is basically an extension of the blue pill mixed with a bit of red pill. Yep, I would agree. Blue pill love the fantasy. Purple pill know the reality but tend not to let go of the fantasy. As long as ADG does not pull you into going against Rule Zero and Donovan, then collab would be interesting. No, I mean, I would keep it. I'm not interested in any sort of... Guys, I'm not a PUA guy. I'm not into getting you married or with women. If you're going to get with women, I support a 4 to 6 week fling, a short-term only relationship. I think that's okay. I'm not an incel, I'm not black pill. I understand where they're coming from. But I'm not also interested in a long-term relationship. They never last, ever. If you think they last, prove to me. Dopamine wears off. It's as simple as that. The brain goes back to baseline. Familiarity breeds contempt. Contempt breeds destruction. It's as simple as that. and there's always going to be chaos. Why would anyone want to submit themselves to it? So the Rule Zero gang and Donovan and all those people, I mean, I don't watch them anymore. I do like to hear both sides, what people say, what people think, just where they're at. And a lot of these PUA people, I don't think they know, like, really? Again, you can have every technique possible, every trick, but you're still dealing with female nature. How's that going to work? Female nature trumps everything. According to women on YouTube, men are just a swipe away. Well said. Mysterio, Rowdy, you must be independent of any platform out there. You're a solo artist. I'm a lone wolf. But I've listened to a lot of guys. I've listened to Gregory, Coach Greg Adams, Jaded Creep. I keep my opinions to myself. I mean, I don't seek any sort of monetary compensation for what I do. I do this strictly to help others and myself. When I talk to you guys, it shoots off things in my brain like, oh my gosh, yeah, now it makes sense. It makes sense more. I'm talking to people that are part of my thinking. It helps me as it helps others. And comments within here help others that are listening and watching. We're all in it together. And the reason I do this is because men first. We don't need to put a woman central. We did that, and where did that lead? And so if we can help anybody to have a better life, that's all I'm about. I'm never, ever going to sell shit. If anything, I would probably make a t-shirt that said "Rebel Against Defeat," and I would charge whatever they charge me. If it cost me $20 to sell it on that t-shirt site, I'd charge you $20. You know, simple as that. I was never into it for anything. Any monetary, I'm never going to be into it. If they asked me to speak at a convention, I might consider it, but I'm not getting paid for it. I'll pay my own flight. That's how much I care about my message. Being purple pill means you still believe in the fantasy. Yes, 100%. Daniel Gonzalez in the house. No cohab, no marriage, no children. Don't trust modern female. Trust yourself. That's where you're going to find the most happiness. Don't get involved into any of those things. Remain independent. I am. You know, Anthony did jump on our live stream a couple live streams ago, and had a couple comments. We've sent an email or two back and forth. I think, you know, he's trying to push something that's important. Make women great again. So I'm not interested. I'm my own person. I'm not going to do anything that goes against my values or is monetarily influenced or any of that crap. If I wrote a book, I'd give it for free. It'd be a PDF. Just get it out there. Get it into the hands of men to be better. What is your next vacation to? I want to go to Colombia, MGTOW Cowboy, but I'm looking at flights right now for August. You guys should meet me. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks, oh, we know what happens. Where are we at here, guys? Swift Trainer. I have a friend who wants to play stepdad with a MILF and her 3 kids. He'll be last. He will be last. Okay, hold on. I dropped down a little bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, I was there. I was sad because I had no shoes until I met a man who had no feet. Raymond Carr, very well said. Some women go on 3 different dates within a 24 period. Absolutely. MGTOW looked down on PUA. Look, you're dealing with female nature. FJT, let's see what FJT said. Kevin Samuel is funny when he's roasting women, but he still wants men on the plantation. He said that MGTOW men aren't high value. Yeah, I mean, I think I like him exposing the delusion, but he also is part of that plantation that there can be successful relationships. But I ask myself, how? In today's modern world, how can there be successful relationships when technology, social media, and female nature is literally roaring in all different directions? How? And they're literally 500 orbiters in every one of those girls' phone that Kevin Samuels is hanging out with. How do you maintain frame? There is no such thing as frame. You can't. Well said, FJT. Extensive knowledge of or close association with someone or something leads to a loss of respect. I would agree. Raymond, scarcity creates value. PUAs are nothing but simp enforcers. Yeah, a lot of those PUAs have wives and girlfriends that aren't very attractive either. So again, if you're going to listen to somebody, I sure as hell hope he had tens and 20s of tens hanging out with him, right? How are you going to learn how to make $1 million from a guy that's never made $1 million? Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. A biblical verse from John. Well said. Rakil Singh, Sigma for life. There you go. Look at the numbers, Rad. Your channel size is increasing. Yeah, it's taken a while. But I could care less. You know, if it helps more people, that's all I care about. I always wonder what's black pill. Black pill is, I think, just not even dealing with women. I think incels don't deal with women because they give power to women that they've been rejected by women. Again, if you give women power, whether it's negative or positive, they're on the pedestal. Sigma males, as Rakil Singh talked about, don't give power to women. Red pill don't give power, but do not allow, they believe in the reality. Blue pill believes in the fantasy. Black pill, they're off in their own corner, and which is great. Whatever life you want to lead that brings peace and happiness is great. But if you're going to hate on women, you're still giving power to women. We don't hate women. We don't want money, 100%. We are the answers we seek. We do it for free. MGTOW is free. What were the girls like when you were in high school? For me, the more made up they were, the more difficult they seemed. Yep, I would agree. It was easier back then. I had girlfriends. There was more relationships that didn't break down or monkey branch or hypergamous at those times. There was still female nature. They still liked the man, but they stuck around. So, that's what I thought. Would you consider yourself Sigma? Then since you're a lone wolf, I could care less if someone's an alpha. Beta's annoying me though. I don't know what the hell I am. I just know that I navigate female nature by putting my purpose and my kids first. That's it. I will talk to a woman. I will go on a date with a woman. I have neighbors and women that I talk to. I'm not angry, but I also know what's under the covers. I know that there's an agenda and initiative with most women. And I do not jump into that pool. Even for Rad. I see beautiful women all the time. I have women calling me, texting me, oh my gosh, I could be on the plantation in 10 seconds, just like everybody else. But I have to ask myself, outside of her physical, what does she bring to the table? You know what the answer is? Very little. I have a friend who wants to play stepdad. Oh, I think I read. Did I read that? He needs to get the memo. He needs to get some red pill. I would love to rock a rad tee. I'll have to figure something like that out. I thought about a couple of cool, like, crossbones or something. Held to the reality, men first, says Jay Lee, 100%. Donovan charging for male to male is just the masculine version of OnlyFans. A lot of guys are charging. The reason most people fail instead of succeed, they trade what they want most for what they want at the moment. Yes, we're very short-sighted, especially with women. Women can bamboozle men very quickly, guys. Curtis Shamrock in the house. Talking about fraudulence in the manosphere. Without training, they lack knowledge. Without knowledge, they lack confidence. Without confidence, they lack victory. Confidence is the key, guys. Some expat just got killed in Colombia. They say he was set up. Most likely. You got to know how to deal with Colombian culture, South American culture. You need to learn the Spanish. You need to learn slang. You need to learn how to navigate. A lot of guys go down there with their eyes all open and their bunny ears up. They love me because I'm blue-eyed. They have no idea. Certain areas you walk, there's certain areas you don't walk. Think about your city. Lead the ideas of your time. They'll accompany and support you. Fall behind them. They'll drag you with them. Oppose them. They'll overwhelm you. Very well said. Jemias Toussaint, the amount of plastic in this gym were recycle bins when you need it. The amount of plastic in these ladies, they do need a recycle bin because all that work has to be redone over and over again. I don't believe in Frame, guys. Frame is no match for 3 digits on your phone. Tony Maurice in the house. Beta Bucks. Yes, so. You are correct. We're MGTOW, not PUAs. Peace out, MGTOW Cowboy. Frame has an exploration date and an expiration date. Very well said, Mysterio. We've listened to some shit he said, and it's mostly good, not all, but I would never simp to his shit. Thopar, I'm late to the game. Time to listen to some rad with a glass of scotch. What kind of scotch? I have a friend who was married 4 times. The 4th marriage, I told him don't do it. He got divorced 2 years later. They all divorce. Just sit back and watch the shit show with a nice glass of scotch on the rocks, Thopar. Renegade number 1 is a good black pill channel. I'll check that out. Volcano Nation is in the house. Women don't know what they want, and you cannot please them. 100%. Got to look out for yourself. Do what you want to do. And if a woman wants to tag along, cool. If she don't, cool. That's exactly where we live. If they want to come over, come over. Bring a bottle of wine. I'll entertain you. I don't got a problem with that. You don't put yourself into their equation. You are the equation. Well said. No, you won't accept communism outright, but we will keep feeding you small doses of socialism until you finally wake up and find you already have communism. We will not have to fight you. We will so weaken your economy until you will fall like overripe fruit into our hands. The democracy will cease to exist. Yeah. Yep. 100%. I got hairy legs that turned blonde in the sun. Joe Biden. Oh, Tony Maurice in the house. Good to see you. Joshua Ademosu, the living legend. You guys are funny. I'm no living legend. Just experience to help my brothers. That's it. FJT, you can't maintain Frame long-term when Big Daddy government is in charge. It only takes one cell phone to shatter the Frame. Let's see if the judge is impressed by that strong alpha Frame. There ain't no Frame in the courthouse. There ain't no Frame in a police station. Well said, FJT. Well said. That is the problem with PUAs and dating coaches. Guys, women use the courts and the enforcement to get what they want. Simple as that. How do you compete? If you call up and say you're getting pushed up against the wall by some broad in your house and you're getting roughed up and you're not fighting back, you know who comes out and takes the person away? You know who goes away? You. Be very careful. Girls were easy in the 80s. Now they're all princesses. Even the ones that I grew up in the 80s are all princesses, Tony. When you hear of couples that break up around you, who is the one doing the breakup percentage-wise? Women, 80%. 80%. Blaine Bentley, like this show. Good. I'm glad you're here. Women want the wedding and not the marriage. It benefits them, not the man. You have to date a woman and live with her at least 5 to 10 years before even thinking about marriage, and then still not. Well said. I wouldn't even live with them. Here's the problem. When you live with them, again, you're only literally a couple seconds, a couple inches away from marriage. It's basically marriage without a permit. But it still goes downhill. Now you're still dangling that marriage carrot in front of them. And so there's still a little bit of a you're on the pedestal, they're not type deal. But yeah, I wouldn't even get involved in them. But you still don't marry them. It's very well said, Volcano Nation. It happened in Barranquilla, Colombia. I've been through Barranquilla. Barranquilla is between Cartagena and Santa Marta on the coast. It's a manufacturing industrial town. In fact, Shakira is from Barranquilla. We actually stopped in Barranquilla. And, you got to know what the hell you're doing. That's all. You need to understand the culture, where to go, who to listen to. I mean, I got out of the airport. I had like a bunch of these, they call them malandros, hoodlums, trying to get me to take their taxi. But F no. You never take some guy's taxi. You take the yellow taxis that are governed and authorized by the state. I mean, it's just simple things. You don't go with dipshits. But most likely, he either liked a woman and the woman completely bamboozled him and he got beat up and killed by, the brothers and cousins, or he made the wrong turn somewhere. It's too bad to hear that. Carl Carey is in the house. Good to see you. Why do us men want LTRs? It can't be for just. No, because we want to invest in something. Men hate to have little investments. When you put $10,000 into an account, you want to see that grow to 100. You don't want to pull it out at 10,200. You want to make it grow. That's why we want LTRs. We want to put our heart, soul, and energy and resources into something that's going to give us a return on investment. But as you know, modern day relationships, there are no ROI or very, very little. It's very difficult to get a return on your investment in today's world. Simple as that. But LTRs are about investing in somebody, in a purpose, and building something. That's why we want to. Sex, companionship, and validation. Carl says 100%. What type of plane can you fly? A small commuter like in Indiana Jones? Cessna. Bunny ears up. There's a lot of bunny ears out there with that gal that looks at him. Oh my gosh, she looked at me. Black pill knowledge. Is that the driving force behind all women is to emasculate and destroy men? I think it's inherent in their programming. They just don't know that. They say no, but I think it's just within them. Again, it goes back to my belief that, not tonight, I have a headache. Yep. It goes back to the belief that women were angry because they had to fend off their competition during the tribal years of the other women to keep their food and their supplies and their safety and their livelihood. And so they hated the man that they had to do that. I think it goes back. I mean, that's my opinion, my belief. I came up with that. And I think they're angry at the man because the man could go off, not have to care for everything, not have to take care of the house, but had to just go shoot. But we had our own pressure shooting that buffalo. And I think they're mad at the man because they think we had an easier life. I remember when I would travel and take a flight to LA or something from Oregon or Arizona. My wife thought it was a vacation. Dude, traveling for work sucks ass. You ever done it? I've done it for 20 years. Leave on a Monday morning, have to deal with TSA, have to deal with rental cars, have to deal with misdirections, getting late, getting to bed at 11 o'clock at night, having to do all this. It's not a vacation, but they all thought it was vacation. So maybe that's what women in the tribal days thought. That the man going out to hunt the buffalo was so easy. Although they had no idea that the guy literally had no sleep, had to fight off other tribes, had to fight off other predators and so forth. It's just perception. Well, if it's Pepsi at a fountain, I'll do Pepsi. If it's Coke, I'll do Coke. But I buy Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, which is owned by Pepsi. Mysterio, you're too funny. Depends. My ex-wife loved Diet Coke. So I drink Diet Coke, but I didn't like it. Hey, Rad. Barely good tennis in the house. Wes here, listening to you and getting after it with push-ups, bench, and curls. Good for you, brother. You are working on yourself. Good for you. Make sure those reps are going slow. 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. You'll see a huge improvement. Reggie Brock is in the house. My girlfriend got an attitude with me because I called her back. She hung up. She texted me, hit me back up later. I was helping my mom with something in the meantime. I just called to talk for a few, but I checked her. You're on the pedestal, my friend. Reggie, good for you. Men first. Simple as that. Mountain Dew. There you go. Diet Mountain. Well, Mountain Dew Zero. I freed 1,000 slaves. I found I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. Very well put. Very well said. Renegade recently killed himself. I heard that. I think FJT talked about that. Just threw on some cult rocking out. Which one? You listen to Electric, Love, Dreamtime? Beyond Good and Evil? Beyond Good and Evil kicks ass. I mean, talk about the cult reinventing themselves in the early 2000s. Hey, Rad, going back in school to finish my BS in business admin of IT management, WMP, WPM WOWs in the house. Feels good and gives me purpose, and your videos give me motivation. Good. That's a very good career path. IT management. You're going to be very successful. You're going to stack tons of money, and you're going to have a lot of autonomy. Good for you. Keep going. You're first. Men first. You put yourself first. You put your dreams first. And when you graduate, you take a vacation to Mexico or wherever. If a woman does false allegations, why is she not reprimanded somehow? Like maybe take away her driver's permit. Oh, I wish that was the case, Mysterio, but it just doesn't happen. I don't know what happens in Canada. It's probably more liberal in Canada, but it's the narrative. It's all it is. The man is evil. The woman is innocent. No name truth. Screw a stimulus check. I made zero effort to get one, or unemployment. I don't need their forced socialism, because you can take care of yourself. You're an independent red pill man that puts himself first and doesn't rely and play victim on the government. Good for you, brother. Fairly good tennis. Should I keep working for an open Marxist socialist business? That's up to you. Eventually, you'll stop working for him because it doesn't fit your ideals. Right? Costco is a socialist business in the United States. So is Apple. So is Microsoft. Right? The only women will submit to is Big Daddy. The only man women will submit to is Big Daddy government. Well said, seed of gnosis. 100%. Going by your investment theories, you don't hear of women doing crypto Bitcoin. Why? It takes logic to understand that. And if they invest money into something, that means they can't spend that money at a department store. Right? It takes away from their coffers. Women are not very good at investing money. 1% are, 99% are. That guy purchased a 2-story in Columbia and it was in bad neighborhood. I think got set up. Yeah, most likely. It's got to be someone that set him up. He probably couldn't speak Spanish very well, and he was probably bamboozled by her beauty. Sad, though. I got rejected by a 200-pound girl the other day. I'm bummed, man. It's an all-time low for me. Don't worry about it, Tony. She's delusional like the rest, like 99% of them. I'm sure she's rejected Chad and Tyrone's. You're no different. Her ego has been elevated because Lizzo said she was a princess. Stand up, don't give your power away anymore, and chase excellence. Simple as that. Forget it. My brother has bunny ear syndrome. He lost jobs because of it. Oh, sure. It's real, Swift Trader. Let's skate in this life. Proved Ben on the wood plank since 90. Ben on the wood plank. Come on over. I ride an 8.5 deck, 33 inches long, independent 166s with PAL bones and Swiss bearings. Am I talking reality? Of course I am. But let's skate. My wife thought it was a vacation. That's funny. 100% Mysterio. Richard Gere still looks better than Goldie Hawn. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Men age great. You call him Dr. Jones. Doll Indy. Yep. I believe the banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. He who controls the money controls everything. I am doing my weight slow as you suggested. Good for you. You're going to see massive improvements, Mysterio. My brother always gets nice off a job and always takes the bait, then gets fired. Yeah. It's a cycle, right? Women don't care when their men die, but they will live off their legacy. My mother-in-law, ex-mother-in-law, is doing exactly that, Kurt. Renegade I think Renegade and FJT were friends online. He did red pill stuff. If FJT is still listening, have him tell you who Renegade was. Bro, why would you step to 200-pound 29er? The universe just did you a solid. Don't be bummed. Celebrate. Happens all the time, guys. Because I'm home on a Friday, got nothing to do. But yeah, you're right. You know what? You get out, walk around, get to the gym, watch a documentary on something that interests you, and wake up the next morning and go for a great motorcycle ride, a hike, do something. I spend a lot of time alone on Friday nights. Or I just go to the bar and hang out and have chips and salsas, maybe an ale. The Colt's electric is better than GNR's appetite for destruction. The Colt feel real, GNR manufactured. That's a tough one because I love them both. But the GNR did open up for the Colt on that tour. So well said, Mysterio. If a woman says hi to him, he thinks they want him. He is so stupid. Well, men get bamboozled. The bunny ears, right? The Colt Guns N' Roses, that's a tough call. Yep, I just said it. Canada hangs men just upon allegation. DKS 13827 in the house. Yeah, same here. Probably worse in Canada, though. The Ultimate Warrior's wife was going to divorce him. Then he died and made money by being hired just for being his ex-wife. There you go. See? Living off the man's legacy. I just uploaded a video of me and Renegade having a discussion. I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, you were tight with him. You know, those that take their lives early have given power to something on the external. We don't shame them and fault them, but they got to a place in their life where the external validation or the external approval was more important than their own. And there's a lot of people that can't rely on their internal approval, and it's sad. You know, most of my buddies that took themselves out relied on the woman that hurt them. They were given all their external power to her, and she took them in his hand, she took him in her hand, and what happened? He eventually gave up. So depression, I'm not a medical doctor, but there is part of life where we externalize our power and we suffer. We have to learn to be internal. We have to learn to be alone, be lonely, to get to know ourselves. And that's where I think society has proven us wrong in the last 50 years. We need someone. Man should not be alone. No, we're not alone right now. We're in a chat room talking to a computer screen. We're not alone. The Ultimate Warrior was a pro wrestler. Yep. Sad. Glenn Levitt, good for you. Thopar, I like that. I like that brand. Actually, I like that year. Chicks used to dig Camaros in the 80s. Now they want guys with Bentleys. There you go. Why not? I think that's well said, Tony. We should just off really large sections of raw wilderness and drop women off in there to show them how life without men would be like. Yeah, they'd probably stand beside their man and believe us, right? Good and Evil was great. In the movies, can you tell when the woman is shady? I can. I don't know why. It tickles me when I get it right. Like when the women of 24 go back. Yeah, I think they do well. A woman going evil is just part of their nature. Can you hear that, Peg? Yes, silence. Yes, it's silence. I don't have to hear your big mouth. Al Bundy, very well. Married with children. So glad that men's channels are out now. Can you tell men checked out? Ben Crimson filling so many young men. Good to see you, Chili Pepper. Yeah, it's helping. It's helping. I think it takes courage to go red pill on your own way. I have a ton of blue pill BS trying to drive me back in the matrix, my job, some of my social circles. I will go my own way. Yeah, you're going to see that the rest of your life. Just reality. You got to be strong. You got to take your red pills every day. Rick Springfield, Steven Tyler looks better at 70-something than some of their female counterparts. They both look 50 in a day. Yeah, well, sure, damn right they do. A guy my brother knew in high school blew his brains out because of some girl. I think he was drunk, though. Well, Raymond, that happened to 3 of my friends. And it was because they externalized their power to a female or a fantasy. And it's sad. And that's why these channels exist, to help others. What's your bar of choice in Utah to go to? The Garage. Google it. Or Piper Down. Mr. Sammy is in the house. Good to see you. What is bunny ear syndrome? It means that you are in love with dopamine and the woman that you think, or an opportunity that you think you hit the lottery. Like there's no negative. That's bunny ear. You're just like, you're ready to rock and roll. She smiled at you. You got bunny ears. She's the one. Is it normal when we reach middle age, 40, and find ourselves bitter about life and situation that we've gone through? Well, sure. I mean, there's a rage, Fernando. But guess what? We understand it. We move forward. It's okay to experience that. Nothing wrong with it because we believed in something that was an illusion, right? So who wouldn't be upset? I'm on an 8.25 Jamie Thomas with Indies and 55 millimeter Spitfire. Oh, I ride 62s. Red bone, skating is freedom at its best. You must be a trickster because those 55s are good for kick flips and ollie impossibles. I have to add that the Ultimate Warrior's family hated his wife and said she was a gold digger and wanted to divorce because he was losing money. Par for the course, Kurt. I guess looking at Delilah and Eve should be enough for us men to be worried. It goes all the way back to the mother of humanity. Adam was the number one simp, the first simp. FJT, the foreign women always ask me to come to their country so they can take me out and buy me things. I'm going to buy you things so I can get a green card and resource. It's always a transaction, right? There's always something they seek. So when you're dating a woman, what does she want? Does she want you? No, she wants what you can provide. Well said. Got a 4-month-old lab and took her to a bar to get some socialization. 3 post-wall women all separately asked me if I brought her there as a chick magnet. I just laughed and said, nope, walked away. Good for you, Carl. Canada and Australia, Lord Spawn says, are competing for worst SJW feminist shithole on the planet, and Terrence Popp gave the title to Canada and is Canadian. I'm ashamed of it. Well, Trudeau is a total ultra fucking blue-pilled ocean blue simp. The dude is simper than any. The dude doesn't even have a wiener. Or if he has a wiener, you can't find it. These chats are therapeutic, says Mr. Sammy. Good to have you always. Is cardio useless to lose weight? I don't do cardio. The only time I do cardio is when I ride my bike, but I'm getting a cardio and a lower and a core workout. I will not. I do walk every now and again, a couple times a week for an hour, which is just clears the air, but it's good for you. But I don't do run. I don't Stairmaster or any of that crap. Weights, Mysterio. The Ultimate Warrior is dead. She's making great money now and posting selfies. Of course. I've heard that from people in my old neighborhood whose husband died, and the woman's out taking pictures and spending and showing everyone how much money she got from his life insurance. It's ridiculous. Z28 with T-tops. But how about the Z28? How about the Firebird, the Pontiac Firebird? I love all the men's handles here. Cheaper groceries rule. Yeah. I like that one that says Talking God Jets or something. I think that's funny. Adam also had a lack of options. There you go. Guess who was the other man in the Garden of Eden? That wasn't Adam. Satan. Lucifer. Go figure. The bad boy. God, I just had I just thought of that. Adam was a simp. Satan was an alpha. I went to Clearfield Job Course years back, Utah, in California. Yeah, Clearfield just up the street, brother. An acquaintance in a local cover band vented on Facebook that his wife left him. She said that she never loved him. Was from Asia. He was a white guy. Well, it doesn't matter who the woman is, where she's from. Female nature will eventually rear its head, either in the culture or the situation. Simple as that. That's why men do not put women first. Men first. Women complement. And that's what we all have to learn. I'm glad that I'm divorced, retired, and will never consider anything more than a slam bam. You got the memo, DKS 13827. You got the memo. Good for you. Defeat Ocean Blue Simp. That killed it. He is. He's a wimp. Total fucking wimp. And I like Canada. I love going to Calgary, Whistler, Surrey, BC, British Columbia, Victoria. I've been out to the island. I've been to Alberta. I've been to Medicine Hat. I've been to Red Deer. I've been to Lethbridge, Cardston, Hope, Fernie, Banff, Toronto. But there is a very different style of man there. Or government. And but you know what? America's on par basically now. Bond or Fast and the Furious? James Bond, 100%. Men are a paycheck, a ride, a place to stay, and a baby daddy. They provide provisions and protection. Volcano Nation, 100%. If a woman took a time machine back and came in, she would not like it. The women had it easy. Who built this world? Who built the skyscrapers in New York? Who made your roads? Who builds the cars? Think about that. Who wanted to make life easier for women by making a refrigerator, a microwave, a stove, a washing machine? Men! I heard guys get into fights over women. They do. They do. Working on tricks. I had down backside 180 flips and tray flips, but still shred downhill snowboard style. Definitely want a bigger setup to rip Mike Vallely style. Send me a message. I don't do a lot of street tricks. I ride transition now because you don't get hurt as much. I was out the other day doing some shove-its and some 180 ollie pop shove-its where you grab the tail. I'm like, I'd rather ride vert, man. Do you like Kiefer Sutherland? I think he's all right. I saw him in Flatliners. I thought he was good, and I thought he was good in Young Guns. Wasn't he in Young Guns? I thought he's good. He's all right. Red Deer in the house. Lord Spawn. Are you in Red Deer? Good for you, man. Love that area. Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, or Macho Man? Randy the Macho Man Savage? It's like the cream rises to the top. The cream rises to the top. Randy Macho Man Savage. I would say Macho, but I did see Hulk Hogan in the Chicago airport, and I saw him, and I go, the Hulkster! And he like fist bumped me. And he looked like the Hulk. He was a big dude. The men built modern day. Yes, they did. Hulk, Warrior. Hulk is bigger than... Are you talking Macho Man Savage? Randy the Macho Man Savage? I never gotten into a fight over a woman, unlike my cousins. You guys, never argue with a woman. Never fight with a woman. You're dealing with a 5-year-old with breasts. Any woman is a 5-year-old with breasts. Is Tony Hawk cool? I used to skate with Tony Hawk when I rode for Santa Cruz. Tony's a very interesting guy. I knew him when he was like 22, 23. I'm 4 years younger, so very technical as a skater. Didn't have a lot of style. Very technical. So he could spin. He could do a lot of twist moves. 6'4" and skinny. They called him Bony Cock, not Tony Hawk. Bony Cock. But the guy with style was Christian Hosoi and Chris Miller in those days. But he's an interesting guy. He was nice, but very he'd be like a total programmer type. He loved electronics. He loved computers. I wouldn't call him a nerd. I would just call him real geeky, but he could rip. Nice guy, though. Few Good Men was a good movie. Yes, it was. Women always say that a woman invented the dishwasher, but in reality, it was already invented. A woman just improved on it. Same with Madame Curie and her husband. They can't accept facts. 100%, Carl. Superstar, Billy Graham. I used to see Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Woo! Woo! All the time in the restaurant. Cool guy. Dude, he's been divorced a couple times, right? Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Watch some videos on him. He's funny. Woo! what did he say? I kiss the girls and make them all cry. He'd always say that. I kiss the girls and make them all cry. In fact, his wife did an interview and said, he was cheating on me the whole time. Could not commit. Maybe he was red pill. The man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour. I like that. DKS 13827. I remember back in the 60s, the government told poor women, have babies and we'll give you more money for each kid. I think that's happening here too. Who's going to pay your bills, right? Welfare. That's a way. DKS is what women are thinking. Welfare. They have a kid, they'll get the money for child support, and then they'll get welfare. Thanks to evolutionary living on recruit difficulty Women have evolved to be NPCs. Nothing they have done has required them to evolve. No, well, the only thing that's required of them is to have babies and just to exist because they can get a lot from the government. Nowadays, middle-class women see their stupid friends hit the lotto and divorce courts. Epidemic. Mine saw her friends and lost. So DKS 13827, that is typically the narrative, and that's why I got a very badass bulldog attorney that cost me as much as a brand new Porsche in 2021, and I got exactly what I said she would get: 50-50 custody, no alimony, child support based on the calculator of state of Utah. That's it. Guess who won? She wanted 5 figures minimum, just in alimony per month, 5 figures, plus child support, plus the kids, plus the it wasn't about the money. It was about the destruction of a man. That was her goal, and it didn't happen. But I'm lucky. I prepared well. Live text in the house. No wonder the Quran says majority in hell are women. I've never seen that verse. I had to check it out. Do non-Mormons have it hard in Utah for a job? No. Maybe 20 years ago. Not anymore. He reminds me of benevolent Bill Gates. Yes, he does. Do you think Tom Cruise will get married again, or has he gone leaked out? Well, hopefully he got the message. Hopefully. Deaf CPU nerd. Oh, total nerd, Tony Hawk was. Biden wants $1.9 trillion to help pay for children preschool and 2 years post-high school, and then there's the increase. Wasn't impressed with his talk. Who's going to pay for it? He has no plan, Carl. Sean Connery was alpha. He didn't put up with women's bullshit, 100%. Al Pacino, same way. He's never been married. Do you listen to jazz? Lee Morgan is great. I'll send you some albums to check out. Really rock. Yeah, send me some stuff. I like Grey Boy, acid jazz, but I do like jazz. Tom Penny is cool. Yep. You were lucky in court. I was lucky because I got the right representation. I listened to my grandfather, who was attorney, and he said to me, DKS, if you're ever in legal trouble, you get the biggest, baddest attorney. Don't worry about how much it costs. And he was 100% right. Tom Penny. That South Park episode about Tom Cruise is funny. Mom, Tom won't come out. I remember seeing that. Tom, come out of the closet. And that might be an issue. He might be. Interesting. If only MGTOW was the male default behavior. Yeah. Exactly, Rad. They do whatever it takes. A woman from Spain sent me an audio while exploring herself. It sounded like she was stirring warm mac and cheese. She wider than she tall. I have heard of Grey Boy All-Stars. I love them. They're great. Welfare, as we know, is coming back, also known as AFDC. Yep, Obama and Biden have now doubled their national debt. Welcome hyperinflation. Guys, I'm out of here, but listen to me. Never put a woman central to your life. Put yourself first. Never seek external validation from others. Don't be on your third marriage. There are no unicorns. I hate to break it to you. There's only the unicorn in your mind. Was there any possibility of you losing with your case with your redheaded lawyer? Nope. I believed I would win. You guys are great. She's built like a Borg cube and just as ugly. Take care, you guys. See you guys. Great stream, Rad. FJT, take care. We'll talk to you guys soon. Chase excellence, masculinity, men first.